Hi everyone. It sounds great to hear that you all are good and well. So today, let me welcome you all to spend a little time with English. On this day, we are going to deal with some basic concepts in English like is, was, live and living, the proximity, and the time. So I think it's time to start the session. Let's start. So let me introduce the two sisters to you, is and was. You know why I introduce them as sisters? Because before learning a language, we should create a passion towards it. So let us consider them as two sisters. Is a younger sister who always goes with the present tense, and was is a little elder who always pop up the past tense. Okay? So, to my right, you are going to see some sentences with the word is in them. Okay? Let us see to that. Okay. The first sentence is my birth year is 1976. A birth year which couldn't be changed, and it will live there. Still, we are active, right? It's a profound document which lives on earth till the time we live here, right? So, if we have to substantiate the year, or you have to indicate it by giving a high degree, you can say in this way, my birth year is 1976. So, through this, we have mentioned your birth year, and you are proud enough to say that you are born in the 70s or after 75. Right? Okay. Let's move to the second one. It shows another sentence which connects with the hobby. My hobby is reading. This is also a sentence which shows that the person is active and live. The hobby of reading will be with you from your childhood, and you cherish the hobby till the time or till this time, and now too you read the books, and of course that is your hobby. Okay, so my hobby is reading, is being cherished by you and is being continued by you now too. Clear? Now let's move to a third sentence. It's been connected with a relationship, right? It says my husband is working at Dubai. Did you see that? You are saying that your husband is working at Dubai. The place is mentioned and the continuity with the place is also mentioned. So the person is working at Dubai and he is continuing to work there, or he continues to work over there. There is no end here. The process is still in progress. He is active with his work. That's why we mentioned my husband is working at Dubai. See to the sentence, in case if your brother is working in Australia, you can even mention it this way. My brother is working in Australia. Because a person is active, right? Okay. So these are some sentences which carry the model with the word is. Let us move to some sentences which carry the word was in them. Now, let's see to some other model of sentences which goes with the word was. See to my left. Out of that, the first sentence says, he was born in 1976. At first, we saw to the sentence which had the same information, but the information was being conveyed with the word is in there, which shows which happened at present. But now, here it says that thing has happened in the past. For example, this sentence is very good to go with an inquiry or for some kind of exam registration. Let the man be the brother of one among us, and the person who is entering the exam details and the birth year is calling you to confirm the year of birth of your brother. How do they may ask? Dear, can you just share the birth year of your brother? So, with proud, you may say, yes, he was born in 1976. So, this shows the thing that has happened in the past. So, he may be elder to you, right? So, he was born in 1976. This can even come with an inquiry too. It's just for an example. We all go with inquiries for visas, for passport, the authority to come to a home, or they will call to the authority or the department. They will inquire about our birth year, our identification marks, right? So at that time too, in case, in the absence of your brother, if you are attending there, you can even indicate them that he was born in 1976 if they ask you the birth year of your brother. Right? Hope this portion is clear for you. Now let's move to the second sentence. It reads, reading was his hobby, but now he couldn't find time to spend for that. Reading was his hobby, but he couldn't find time to spend with that now. Or this can be read in this way. Reading was his hobby, but now he couldn't find time to spend for that. Which means reading was one of the hobby of the person. Maybe in his childhood, maybe in his 20s, maybe in his teens. Okay? Remember, I have used the word 20s, which means the age 20 and after 20, 21, 22, 23, like that. Okay? And I use the word teens. Teens is a word which has been used to indicate the age of 13 or after the age of 13. Till 19, we are into the age of teens. Clear? Okay. So here it is. Reading was one of the hobby of the person in the past, but now he is not reading. Why? Because he couldn't find time to spend for that. Because of no time, he couldn't read the books. Okay? Yes. Let's move to the third sentence. The third says about your brother or my brother. My brother was abroad for many years, but now he is with his family. Did you see the connection? The preposition to show the connection with anything or any relation is with. W-I-T-H. Okay, remember this, keep it in mind. My brother was abroad for many years, but now he is with his family. So, at first we went with a similar or likewise sentence with the word is. Then we mentioned about somebody's partner, right? My husband is working at Dubai, right? It may come with anyone. That was a thing which is still active. It shows activeness of the person and activeness of the tense, present tense, which is moving now. But here, it's the past, which has happened before, long back, 2 months back, 2 years back. Okay? So here, the person was abroad for many years, but now he is not. Now he is with his family. So So there is no connection for him with abroad. Okay? Hope this portion is clear for you with the word is and with the word was. Is with the present tense, just like now, this day, today, this time. And was will move with the past actions like that day, that time, that moment. Okay, like yesterday to do come under past. Hope this portion is clear for you. Let's move to the other topic, live and living. We all know what is a house, right? And we all know what is a home too. What's a house? It's just a building with many rooms around. There will be a ceiling, there will be many doors, there will be windows, a long living hall. Yes. And the plot of the house, you do too differ according to our taste. Right? So what is a home? What's the difference between a house and a home? House is for a living, whereas home lives inside. Home is a thing where you can see live bondings and relations, like the parents, the kids, the partner, and so on. So a house is incomplete without a home, right? And I wish to take you through some examples, okay? Because if we have to express the higher degrees or the priorities of the relations in communication, we should give them a high protocol in expressing too. So, in order to get a higher priority for the elders or for the relations, we should know how to express by giving priorities in the sentences too while communicating. Okay? For example, after higher studies, you got a chance to move out of the state or to some other place, may not be abroad, but to the neighboring state. So you left there, okay? After 2 months or 3 months, or after a few months, you came back and you took your parents with you. See how proud you are. You are earning now, and now there are the parents with you too. They too will feel proud, right? Meanwhile, one of a person who is one of your relative come to you and ask, how are your parents? Where are they? So as a proud son and a daughter, you may say, my parents are there with me. We never say, my parents live with me. Do we? No. My parents are there with me. Why? Because these time or during our tough times, when we need their support, they were with us at each and every step. And now it's my turn to give the support to them. That's why they are there with me. So see the sentence how it's been formatted. My parents are there with me. Clear? Good. Now take the case of us, like a 13-year-old boy, 14-year-old girls, right? At this time, we can't say that my parents are there with me. Of course, they are there with us, but they are there with us to support now. Rather than that, how you can express or how you can give the priority for them? Because without them, we are nil, right? So how do we frame the sentence here? I live with my parents, or I live with my grandparents if you live with the grandparents, right? This in turn gives the meaning that the parents are giving you the support and letting you to live with them. Okay? In other words, if you are grown up, then also you live with the parents. It turns in this way too. The parents are letting you the permission to live with them even though you are grown up. So that's a bonus, right? Okay, let's take the cases of friends. Friends and family, they are the inevitable factor in our life. They play inevitable roles too, isn't it? So, in case if I have to prioritize my friend, how do I say? Me and my friend? No. The relation and the bonding should be mentioned at first, or the person whom we value more should come at first. So, how do we bring? My friend and me went for the party. Suppose the function is a party. Party. It's been pronounced or sounded as party. Party. The sound is like Pati. Okay? Party. Clear? Fine. So here, my friend and me went for the party. So you have given importance to your friend. At the same time, you are taking care of you too. Clear? Here, we have two more terms to go with. They are proximity and the time. Before that, I wish to introduce two more phrases for you, which connects with the home or which goes with the home. Let me introduce that. They are homesickness and hometown. These terms are very familiar for you, right? So let us see what they are. Imagine that after your higher studies, you got placed with one of the topmost MNCs. Okay? There you went. You started to live in a rented home, alone. In rare cases, some of your friends may come to you, and then after that, they do move back or they do go to their homes, right? After a while, you started feeling a little restless. You started to think about your parents, think of your friends, think of the ambience and your home. You feel a little sick, right? Little, you will turn more complex. You feel very low, right? So, this is a kind of feeling which brings an intensive desire to move back to your home, right? This is called homesickness. So, we are missing our home, we are missing our parents, we are missing our friends, we are missing the ambience, okay? Out of all there at your workplace, which is near to you, and the home which you have taken for rent, in both places, you are feeling alone, feeling that nobody is there to support you, nobody is there to guide you. You feel like now also we have to reach home. This is called homesickness. So, the place which or the time which pulls you back home, irrespective of how far you live or how distant you are. You call this as homesickness. Let me tell you once again. The feeling which pulls you back home, irrespective of how far you live or how distant you are. We call this as homesickness. So, what can be hometown? This is also the same thing. The town which is so close to you, where you had your childhood, where you got nourished, where you got nurtured, where you played many games. So, hometown is a place which calls you back irrespective of how far you live or how distant you are. Okay? So, at this time, you need an example. Let me tell you that. After getting a job, I told already, you may be staying out of the state, you might have moved out of the state. So you do get some holidays in your hand which you want to celebrate or you wish to celebrate, right? So some of your friends will come and ask you, are you not booking tickets to your native? So at that time, be pleasant and tell them, yes, I do have booked tickets to my hometown. Because at the same time, you are turning as a rectifier as well as a friend for them. Done, right? So these are the two phrases connected with home. One is homesickness, the other one is hometown, which we doesn't miss in the life, right? Now let's welcome the term proximity. The term proximity always deals with a distance, like how far we live, how near we live, and how close we live near or far to the landmarks. Okay? Example, let's take the school. So you will live a little far from the school. Just take it as for a 3 kilometer. So I live 3 kilometer away from the school. Can you see the picture to my right? Your house is there, the school is here, just been separated with a distance of 3 kilometers. So your house is a little far from the school, or I live 3 kilometers away from the school. Okay? Right. Now let's move with the second one. The house is not so far. It's quite near, but not too near, right? You can see the school here, the house there, but they are a little near. So how do we say? I live a little near to the school so that I can go to the school on foot, which means it's just walkable. You can move to the school on foot, F-O-O-T. On foot means you can go by the walk or it's walkable. Remember. Can you see the third one? Here, the school and the house is being separated by a single compound wall. So how do we say? Is it near, close, or next? We do go with option third, that is next. The school is very next to my house, so that I can reach there within a couple of minutes. See to the use of sentence. The school is very next to me, so that I can reach there within a couple of minutes. Hope, far, near, close, and next is done for you. Is it clear, children? Fine. So let's move to the other word. Time. I've discussed about time in some of the classes, right? And I indicated some preposition related to time too. But at this moment, I wish to share about a service provider which always help you to detect the time. You know who was a service provider for us? It's none other than our watch. Okay? So when we run in short of time, always we used to choose the last before bus. to board, to reach the school or to reach the office on time, we do complain saying that there was no time, I got up late. But then too, we forget the clock or the watch who gives us the proper service. So watch is doing a service for us. It is helping us to detect the time. So if you need to ask to the other person about the time in their watch, how do we ask? What's the time in your watch? No. We do shorten the question to a little. We do ask them, what's the time? Right? Then also, it feels a little incomplete, right? So how should we ask? What's the time by your watch? Because the watch is being worn by the other one and it is getting the time for him or her. It's giving the service which helps to detect the time. It's serving the person to know the time, right? Or it serves with the time. So how should we ask? What's the time by your watch? Or what's the time by the watch? Because watch is getting us a service. And if anybody is doing the service, we should use the preposition by. Okay? So time is very precious. We all know that. And here the time comes for us to wind up. Meet you in the next session with very different and creative skills and assignments. This is the class for today. Till we see for the next time is bye from me. Bye-bye.